Everybody, welcome back to a Saturday episode of FSi DFS Fantasy Baseball Picks. I'm Row 31. Just a reminder, you want to check out our channels. Charlie's got a soccer video out for the EPL slate at 10 o'clock today. I will have an Xfinity speculation video because there's too close of a gap between qualifying and the actual race. And we got college football starting today. We won't have video for that, but it's available in our Discord. So if you go to the description of the video, you can get in for $6 today, and you can play NBA or NBA, WNBA if there is it. But you can play MLB, you can play NASCAR, you can play college football, you can play soccer, anything that's going on today. We pretty much have it covered our VIP package. So $6, and I encourage you also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, to go back to Monday and Tuesday video. In the comments, I broke down like some of my processes of how I build lines for cash and GPP on um, BK and on FanDuel because a couple people requested it. And one of the viewers who is new to the channel was asking some really good questions in the chat, followed it. And I think it was Tuesday night for a $3 entry, and FanDuel won over almost $900. So my process isn't perfect. My process has kept me in the game for over a decade now and has been very profitable to me. Not a millionaire, but definitely have reaped the benefits of the long game of grinding out DFS. So hopefully those can help you as long as this video. So let's get into a 10-game slate here. A couple minor weather concerns. We're doing the night slate. I'm not doing the early slate. I just simply didn't have time, and I figured this one would be give you more time to watch the video and build your lineups. So, and it's a decent slate overall. So the first game we have is Oakland and Texas Rangers. John Estes and Cody Bradford. I like both pitchers here. Rangers offense isn't super scary, but they're not a doormat either. Estes is a average to a little bit above average pitcher. I think he's got a bright future. Bradford on the other side, I don't know, lefty against the uh, A's last year used to be kryptonite. This year they've been better, but I still think he should have a solid game based on his recent form. So both I think are in play here. Um, but Estes against Texas would probably be low end of the mid range for mass multi entering. But Bradford, I could consider potentially in cash if I want to save a little bit. Oakland bats probably leverage because I think Bradford's going to have some ownership. Texas would be my fifth favorite stack there. Mets and White Sox, Quintana and Martin. I think you can take a shot at Quintana just because the White Sox lineup is just so watered down. Uh, 12, 14, 15 DK points at 6.9, I think is fine. Dave Samar on the other side, not really interested in. He's in a strong part, but Tony's more expensive than Quintana and worse matchup. So the Mets would be my second favorite stack here. They have 5.25 total. Uh, pretty much anywhere up top here. Or Nemo Vientos has really come alive this season. Lonzo's always there. Winker, it's okay. The bottom of the lineup, I'm not super excited about playing. They've been not super hot recently, but definitely the top part of it. If you want to need to mix in a bottom to make your salary work, I get it. So just make sure there's not more than like one space between them to correlate. White Sox again. Could they have a good deal against Quintana? Yes, and the quote was a little higher than normal, it's 3.75. But like again, who do you take? Like Roberts, maybe Vaughn. It's really hard to find out who's going to be successful here. Toronto in Minnesota, Barrios and W. Matthews. Like, I don't understand. I know Barrios hasn't had the greatest season, but he's been solid in some starts. And Minnesota's not exactly a juggernaut. They're a good team, probably above average, but I don't get the 4.86 total. That just seems way high. So I don't think I'm gonna be playing on a Barrios, but in the mid range, I think he's okay. Zebby, same thing. Like Toronto has been hotter recently, but starting to put it together. That wise, Toronto stack is on here because my was on there twice. I pretty much put both these teams in the cheap range because the pitchers are okay. The bats are not super expensive besides Vlad and Royce Lewis in the 5K range. Everybody else is like in the mid 4K down to like the 3K range. So I don't think I would like play one-offs here at all. I would maybe like Wagner. He's been doing good at second base, and he's only like 2.7. Sometimes sits in the middle of the lineup, or maybe like Addison Barner. Just maybe like Julian. Yeah, if he's hitting up in the order. So maybe one or two, like if you're trying to fill in some cheap bats for cash would work here. And I think you're more like stacking these lineups if you're playing them. Royals at Astros was a pitching matchup last night, and looks like it could be the same here. Reagans and Kikuchi, I think both are in play. Both lineups. It's hard though because both pitchers should do well at mitigating the power and these lineups. But on the other hand, both lineups are pretty disciplined and don't really walk that much, and it's going to be hard to find K's. Houston's slipped a little bit, but still, like Kansas City only has a 90% K rate, and I think Houston, even though this is in the 14-day average, like if you go back further than that, they're like in 18, 19. So both have good plate discipline and shouldn't yield a ton of strikeouts, but these pitchers can maybe manufacture it. So I like both of them, but I think they're really the bottom of high salary. I'd rather take Wheeler, Wu, and Bradford in their matchup than these. And bats are just going to be GPPs for me. I'm just going to stack and hope the opposing pitcher has an off day. And both teams are probably going to. You might not see one left-handed bat besides Alvarez in this lineup out of the 18 batters. So 1 for 17 for lefties there. Braves and Phillies, a little bit of rain risk here, 45 degree for 45%, so it's not that bad. 82 degrees, wind blowing out a little bit. Fried and Wheeler. Fried, I think's broken. Something's going on here. I'm not playing him until I see him get right. I've seen him give up too many runs recently. Wheeler on the other side is actually rounding the form, which is good. If Phillies can make a playoff run, they kind of need it because Tejon Walker, they paid way too much for, is a dud. And some of the other pieces in their rotation have started to get like Sanchez and stuff have started to get stronger, but they're really going to rely on probably Wheeler to be their ace here. So against a Braves team that's kind of watered down, that's leading off with Whit Merrifield, that's been completely snake bitten with injuries. Now, every so often they remember who they are and go out and hit. So I think they're going to be a top leverage stack on the slate here. And then Philly, I think definitely makes the top GPP stack, and I'd probably stick to the righties here. Turn the bomb if he's back in with this hand bruise or whatever sore hand there. Castellanos, Real Muto, uh, I'm fine with. And then if you need to mix in like Harper or Schwarber, I'm fine with that too. Next up, we have the Brewers and Cincinnati. The Brewers put up a football score. I think they had like 14 or 18 runs yesterday. Of course, it was a doubleheader against in the Great American Small Park, probably a bullpen game. It's going to be a bullpen game again for Cincinnati, but the weather is really concerning. It's like 70% chance of rain. It does taper off, so maybe a late start, but still like in the high 30s throughout most of the night. So proceed with caution here. Don't want either pitcher in this game. Milwaukee, if this game's going to play, I'm definitely going to stack here against the bullpen because they got to be Fernando Cruz is going out there, not touching anything for Cincinnati. Tennessee is pitching, unless it is like a real starter that they decide to put out there, somebody that is not just going to be an opener, because the bullpen's got to be depleted, and this is a great chance to pick on them. So probably anybody. Let's see if Trino's back in the lineup. I think he got. I don't know what happened to him, but I did see that he was in my lineup last night, and he had the injury designation on him as like day to day. So that was kind of disappointing. Let's see, what does it say? This was not in the lineup the second, rolling his right ankle in the first game. So hopefully, um, looks like X-rays were negative. So hopefully he'll be okay and not miss too much time. But I don't know if he'll be in the line for today. So that might you might see like Gary Sanchez or somebody make a cheap right-handed bat to go in there too, which is perfectly fine. So I think you can play Milwaukee. Cincinnati, I think, is more of a GPP play here against Montas just because of pricing. I can't really put them in the cheap category when they have um, three players over 5K. Coors Field, Baltimore and Colorado, Kramer and Feltner. Not interested in either one of these. Maybe Kramer in the cheap because Colorado's been bad at times, but I Kramer has also, so I don't really think I'm going with either pitcher here. There's plenty of other value besides Kramer to um, use on this slate. Baltimore, anybody you want here. Rushman, I've been kind of off of. He's not, he sat out yesterday. He just hasn't been what he's been in the last couple of years. Maybe he'll start to put together before the playoffs. So if you want to include him in stack, it's fine. He's just too expensive to take a chance on here. So my core, if I'm paying up, is going to be Cowser, Henderson, Santander. You can do that. There is enough value pitching out there. And the rest of the guys are only 4K, so it's not bad. So Hearn, Mullins, Holiday, Urias has been pretty hot recently. Don't know if I'd take Jimenez in this one, but at 4-2, if he fits your stack, that's fine. Colorado side of it, same thing. Usual suspects: Blackman, Tovar, McMahon, Doyle. I don't know if I play Cave. I usually like Tolguyan. Nolan Jones is my fifth piece if I'm going a full five person stack. Dodgers and Diamondbacks, Gavin Stone and Merrill Kelly. Neither one of these pitchers give me a warm and fuzzy feeling. I think both offenses can definitely take advantage of them, and they've had their struggles at times during the season. Dodgers, again, the usual suspects. Otani bats. Freeman's dealing with the dislocated finger or whatever injury. He did hit a home run last night, so um, he's literally hit or miss at how he is there. Lux and Muncy, I like to haven't played much Will Smith. He's really cooled off, and Teoscar Hernandez is still pretty good. If you so, it's probably the top four if Freeman's in there, and then Lux or Muncy or both if Freeman's out. Diamondbacks, I think, definitely make a GPP stack here too, because Stone has struggled and they're going to throw the lefties up top. So Carroll McCarthy, Jock Peterson, Josh Bell, who needs to learn how to run bases because they had a chance to put up a huge number early on, and he didn't tag up right and was the third out. And I like their catcher too, Jay Castillo if he gets in there also. So, and Gurriel's fine. Suarez is leads the league in RBI since July too. I like him better against the lefty. So there's a lot of ways you can go. Perdermo will probably fall down to the bottom of the lineup. So pretty much besides Luis Gilmore, I think anybody in this lineup is potential. Marlins and Giants, Edward Cabrera and Mason Black. Seen Black like projected pretty high, but I'm looking, he's got single digits and most of them are negative DK points. So I don't know if I can do this. And the Marlins actually hit pretty well, even coming off of Coors. They still like looked decent. And this young team, like you look at it like Chicago, but you can kind of see where some of the production is going to come. That's a little difference there. So I don't know if I'm going to be playing Black. If you want to take a shot at him at 55.5, he doesn't really need to do much to pay that off. Get it in GPPs if you're mass multi-entering, but Cabrera is definitely going to be probably my SP2 in cash. I love the matchup here against San Francisco. So San Francisco would be a contrarian one, and Miami is probably my second favorite cheap stack. Seattle and Los Angeles, Wu and Tyler Anderson. Wu, I think, is another one. If you don't want to pay up for Wheeler at 8.8, makes a lot of sense to be your SP1 in cash. And then Tyler Anderson, the other side, he did have one where he smashed against Seattle, but he had another one where he gave up like 3 runs and had 9 DK points. And also, his last 3 or 4 starts have been only in the single digits and really has kind of lost his form. So Seattle is my favorite cheap stack here besides Julio Rodriguez, who I think is overpriced at 5.1 and I probably won't be playing. There's a lot of nice cheap pieces here. I hope Robles leads off over JP Crawford. They've been doing a lot against lefty, and Crawford be lefty and lefty, but we'll see there. But still, you can do as a wraparound if even not. You might lose one at bat, but they are the road team, so they don't lose the bottom of the ninth. It's their head. So that's definitely helpful. It might neutralize some batting ninth versus first. And then the Angels are just a leftover stack. So let's look at the builds and get you on your way for your Saturday. Wu and Cabrera, like I said, that's where I'm going. If you can get up the Wheeler and cash, that's fine. But I'm gonna punt catcher. There's 2 or 3 like 2K guys or low 2K guys that you can just throw in there as a punt. And then I'm going all Baltimore, Wagner, Urias, Henderson, Krauser, Santana. And then I'm taking really cheap pieces from that Minnesota Toronto game there. Wagner's the one that stuck out the most for second base because I didn't really go Holiday. I wanted to try to pay up for outfielder, maybe get both Krauser and Santander in there, but if not, then I'll fill it in with Blue Jays or Minnesota. For GPP, give me the really good pitchers there. Give me Wheeler and Bradford. Give me number 1 and 3 on my list. And then Seattle, and I like how they pair with the Marlins. And I think that there are two teams and good matchups that are cheap that can put up some decent production today. So Raleigh, I usually love playing him as catcher. Miami doesn't have a catcher I really want. So to give me Berger and Norby from Miami there, and Blanco at second base. And shortstop's always hard because Miami doesn't usually have one that I like. DK, and then Crawford's lefty and lefty. So I might go one off there. So J Rod, if you want to pay up for him, I'll probably go Rosarena, and then I'll probably fill in with there's probably 4 options on Miami for cheap outfielders that I could finish up my lineup with, including Bruhan, Conine, Hill, Flowers, and Sanchez. There's actually 5 people with outfield eligibility potentially in the lineup. I guess Bruhan could do shortstop there. So I got for your favorite questions. Put them in the chat below. Hit me on MegaRuler31 on Twitter or X. Remember to check out our description of the video for the link to our website to be able to go in and get in the action in the Discord. And early slate will be covered in there. And if these videos help us back, like, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. And I'll see you next time.